And now that most of us are finished doing the taxes, you probably have a lot of financial paperwork that's laying around. Financial professional Michael Terrio from the Terrio Group is here to talk about what documents we should be shredding and what you need to hold on to. You can't talk about this too much, I've decided, because every day you hear about identity theft and how fast it's growing in the United States. Absolutely. Why can't we stay ahead of these guys?
A lot of it's us. And we're not taking the actual preventative measures to protect ourselves, but it's also technology. It changes all the time. 56% of all identity theft, according to the Better Business Bureau, is traced back to things that we had in our possession, things that we actually threw out, things with social security numbers, account numbers, banking account numbers, PINs, passwords, etc. Even just as simple as addresses are being thrown out, and it's making it very easy for people.
So we do it. We make it easy for them in many cases.
Yeah.
All right. A lot of us just did taxes. We've got a lot of stuff laying around. What do you keep, and what can we get rid of?
Well, as they say, you got to know when to hold them, know when to shred them. When you look at taxation, you want to always be concerned about the audit. So you want to make sure you're looking at taking your taxes and holding on to them for about 7 years. When you look at pay stubs, W-2s, bank statements, you're going to get about 1 year out of those, and for credit card statements, roughly for about 45 days. But remember, shred things that have any type of account numbers, PINs or passwords, addresses, and definitely social security numbers.
A friend of mine got rid of a bunch of stuff because he said, oh, I did my taxes. It was very simple. I had nothing to argue with the IRS, and he got audited, and he was really ticked off about it. But I tried to explain that these audits are sometimes just random, aren't they? I mean,
absolutely.
So you got to have your stuff.
Absolutely.
Because even if you're clean and they agree afterwards, but if they pick you and want to look at stuff and you don't have your backup, it gets dicey, doesn't it?
Unfortunately, it's one of the places where you're guilty before proven innocent in our country, so you want to make sure you're always protecting yourself with that.
All right, but those things that we can get rid of, what's the safest way to do that, though, Michael?
You're going to want to make sure you stay ahead of the criminals if you can, and you're going to go for something called a cross-cut shredder right now. The simple old shredders, like we have on the graphic here, those ones aren't cutting anymore. They can weave them now. They utilize software that can actually weave these things and put them back together. People don't realize that people that are stealing your identity have all the time in the world. They're not in a hurry, so they'll take the computer software, put it together, and actually steal your identity that way.
I mean, I hear people go through dumpsters. They get into the solid waste land if they can. I mean, they usually can't, but I mean, to try to find stuff, these guys, when they get desperate, they do whatever they can.
Well, it's amazing with the stuff that they can do with your identity, so this is a hot ticket item.
All right, real quick before we let you go, what can we do to be more organized for tax time next year? Let's look ahead.
Tax time is always important to be organized. Make sure you keep anything for deductions, such as medical expenses, homeowner interest. Keep your pay stubs. Make sure your pay stubs and W-2s are matching up. Any type of IRA deductions, things just like that. If you need a complete list, feel free to go to my website, theterriogroup.com.
All right, thanks for the information. The bottom line is zigzags, put a little money into your shredder.
Invest in your protection, absolutely.
And let's get organized now for next year. We always say we're going to do it. Glad you're here to remind us, Michael.
Thank you so much, appreciate it.
Let's go back to the anchor desk.
Thank you.